All right, I finished the card, fight fans. Uh, Gervonta Davis and Yuriorkis Gamboa, the main event. Uh, I finally got one right tonight. I guess I go 1 for 2 for the night. I actually picked Gervonta Davis by UD. He ends up winning by stoppage, knockout in the 12th round. Let me go with my pros and my cons. Let me start with Gervonta Davis. Yes, he did miss weight by a little bit on Friday, but he came back and he ended up weighing in at 134 and a half. So I'll give him a pro for making the weight. He didn't really blow up that much overnight. He came in at 146. That's probably a decent weight for a lightweight. Some more pros. His hand speed. His hand speed was great in this fight. I know it has something to do with the guy he was fighting, but he had good hand speed. And I did like his foot movement, and I was loving, I think it was in the 4th round, those uppercuts, those quick left uppercuts. And he was even throwing right uppercuts that he was landing on Gamboa, because Gamboa was putting a lot of weight on that left foot. I also like the killer instinct that when he had the man hurt, he threw short, precise punches to knock his man down and eventually get him out of there. As far as the cons go, I don't really have any cons for Gervonta Davis. Let me move on to my man Yuriorkis Gamboa. Pros. My man is tough. He's always been a tough fighter. Next thing would be for a guy that people say have a weak chin. He was taking some shots through 12 rounds. That a guy with a supposed weak chin should have been knocked out. I mean, he was taking some hard shots and he got up every time. He probably could have got up in that 12th round, but Jack Reese did the right thing by stopping the fight because Gamboa probably wasn't going to stay down. The shoe malfunction. Apparently, Yuriorkis Gamboa had the same shoes that Zion Williamson had in that game when he was back at Duke earlier this year, where the shoes malfunctioned. It was very clear that something was up with his shoe. The shoe exploded. Now, at the end of the fight, Yuriorkis Gamboa said that he actually was injured, that he may have pulled something in his foot. Of course, we won't know that until he has an MRI today or tomorrow, whenever they look at it. But if that's the case, that shows his warrior heart, that if he hurt his ankle and he couldn't put a lot of the weight on his back foot and he continued, that says something about him. And the only con I would say for Gamboa is his age. I mean, he's 38 years old. He was fighting a 25-year-old. He's long in the tooth. And yes, I'm going to say that he's a gatekeeper. I know if there's any super Gamboa fans out there, you're going to probably be upset with me saying that he's a gatekeeper. But listen, it is what it is. When a 38-year-old man fights a much younger man, a 38-year-old man who is actually still a good fighter. He's still a good fighter. He's still dangerous. He still could beat some guys, but he is not what he was 7 to 8 years ago. That's the reason why they had Gervonta Davis fight him moving up to lightweight. You want your guy to fight somebody who is still good, who's not washed, but he's long in the tooth. That's my definition of a gatekeeper. That's why they picked Gamboa. Let's move on from there. What happens from here? Let's start with Gamboa. I personally would like to see him wrap it up. I think his best days are behind him. I do still think that he can beat some decent fighters and maybe even some good fighters, but I would like to see my guy call it a career. He's had a pretty good career, but I don't want to see him continue to take beatings like the one I just watched him take from last night. Tank Davis. I want to see him. He said that in the interview after the fight that he's the guy and this and this and that and the other. I need to see him now step up and fight somebody. People are already thinking that he's already a top 5, top 7 lightweight. So let's see if he is that guy. There are some names out there he can fight. Devin Haney is around to fight. Luke Campbell is there. Lopez is there, and of course, at the top of the mountain, the guy that I consider to be the king in the lightweight division is Vasyl Lomachenko. Let's see him fight one of those 4 guys. He looked good. I know it was against a much older fighter, but I don't need to see him fight another step up or a tune-up fight. Hey, look, he's talking the talk. He's saying that he's the guy. Let's see him fight a top 5, top 6 lightweight, and let's see what he can do from there. Pretty much that's it, fight fans. I don't really have a lot to add. I thought it was a decent fight. It did turn out the way that I thought. I mean, that happened to me for a change tonight. The fight did play out like I thought. He was just too fast, too quick, too young for Yuriorkis Gamboa, and the way the fight played out showed it. That's all I got. It was a pretty decent card for Showtime in and out the year. Holla at me on Twitter, Damon Allison 21 on Twitter. Talk boxing with me. Hit me up right here on YouTube. Give me your comments. Also, if any of you who catch this video happen to have a link or know of a link for the New Year's Eve cards in Japan, holla at your boy and let me get it, because I would like to check out those fights. I always like to check out the New Year's Eve card in Japan. It usually ends with a bang. Usually Inoue is fighting at least the last couple of years. He's not on it this year. But if any of you know how to get those fights, I would love to watch them Tuesday morning and report back on those fights and close out the year. Other than that, that's all I got. Holla at y'all later.